Hey everybody, welcome to the Three Amiibros look at Star Wars Rogue Squadron II, and we're about to go on, I guess, still a frustrating level, but at least not nearly as bad as that last one. This one's actually interesting because you get to use the B-Wing.
I forget what the B-Wing's deal is, like what it's like used for.
It's basically a razor ship.
A razor ship? What do you mean?
It's literally like shaped like a razor.
Oh, no, I don't know. I know what it looks like. I just don't know what it's like. Because, you know, like A-Wings are like the fast one, Y-Wings are like the bombers. Like, I don't remember what the B-Wings thing
B-Wings are
is.
just like the odd ones out. And I know we just sort of...
I don't
actually
remember seeing
just
these
like
like in a movie.
I think it was just explaining what the B-Wing was, and I think we just totally missed it.
Oh.
But
Classic.
Joke's on us.
Textbook.
yeah, but to be honest, like, you know how like all the ships seem to have like they're called the B-Wing, the X-Wing, they see or the Y-Wing, the X-Wing, they seem to have like a shape sort of similar to that letter. This one looks more like a T.
It does. I do think the B-Wing is like super, like, man, just all these Star Wars designs are all so good. The B-Wing is so cool. It's so weird, which is like weird. Like there's like just like a dude lying down, like it's just like putting its wings in is just like a guy taking a nap. It's so cool.
Yeah, this stage isn't nearly as bad as that last one, but there's not really an unclear objective per se. The problem is that like it's way too hectic for its own good. Also, the fact that sometimes they'll send TIE fighters after your ships, and you have to, again, time limit. You have to kill them within a certain amount of time, or they kill your ships. The problem is like there are certain ships that are crap.
Is that the ice cream truck?
Yeah, that's my phone. Should we stop?
No, keep going.
Nah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
So what's the mission here? We're trying to take down this intercept, or no, the Star Destroyer.
Yes. Now the problem is that you have to sort of do it. You have to keep those two little round things on like the top of them, and you have to get this round shield generator at the bottom. The problem is like there's a whole bunch of lasers, and they are really hard to shake off.
Well, they're not gonna make it easy for you. I don't know if you guys.
Sorry, say what you were gonna say, Will.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm not sure if you guys have played Star Wars Battlefront 2, but the flight mission, the flight battles in that game were extremely well done. They gave you a lot of choice. Because you could either win the game by taking out like individual TIE fighters, or if you wanted to go like the more intricate route, you could actually infiltrate the enemy's starship and destroy it from the inside. Yeah, and that was always pretty fun.
Oh, there isn't much of that.
Yeah, I don't remember any flying stuff in Battlefront. I thought the whole thing with Battlefront 3 that was supposed to come out was that like you can get into your ships and that's like a big deal.
You mean the latest one, Dan?
No, I mean the latest one is technically Battlefront 3, but before LucasArts went south and got sold and whatever, there was a Battlefront 3 in the works that got canceled, and like one of the big selling qualities of that game was that you could like run around on foot and then hop into a thing and just go do a space battle kind of thing.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah,
which they should have done for the latest Star Wars.
There's old proof of concept sort of footage of that bopping around the internet. You can probably find it pretty easily.
The main problem with this level, with this part, at least with this level, is like, you know how I'm like killing all these TIE fighters and stuff, right? Only some of them actually matter. If I switch on my targeting computer at whatever point, like some of them are yellow and some of them are like pink or purple or whatever. And basically, when they start sending TIE fighters after your ship, you have to only kill the yellow ones, but there's no really indication which ones are the ones that matter.
Oh god, so
switch
you
on your
could
targeting
potentially be
computer.
destroying like a ton of TIE fighters for like a good amount of time, and it might mean absolutely nothing towards your goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with this game, is that it's very targeting computer centric. It's got sort of the problem of like the Batman Arkham games of like you play the whole game in detective mode kind of thing, which is like it's
not even that. Just like
targeting computer
playing with detective mode in this game is actually a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, the targeting. Yeah, totally. The targeting computer is like doesn't. I mean, it's fine. It serves a purpose, but it like doesn't look great.
See?
No. No.
Yep.
You didn't do it.
I didn't kill the right ones.
One thing I've noticed about this game that is, I think to me seems like really popping out is like a lot of the backgrounds are just sort of like boring. Like it's just like, oh, I'm in space. There's a lot of black. There's a lot of gray. I guess to a certain extent that's going to happen with a space game, but especially after the first and third levels, which are so tightly packed with stuff. This level is just like, here's some black stuff, here's a planet, and here's a single big ship.
Yep.
Yeah, it would have benefited to have like more like battles in the distance, like that you obviously couldn't reach, but like just to decorate it a little more.
Yeah, but it's just not even that. Just like when there's a whole crapload of lasers just trying to kill you, which is literally all the time, there is not much you can do about it. You can, like, you just have to, like, hope that they just don't hit you and that you can finally shake off. It's such a contrast to something
like X-Wing, which is like, X-Wing is really about like strategic stuff. I mean, X-Wing and like TIE Fighter. Those games are like, they're sims. They're a different thing. You're supposed to play them with like a flight stick, and they're about like putting your power towards the right things at the right time and being able to find the right targets on your targeting computer and all these sorts of things. This game is like so much more arcadey in that it's like throwing things at you all the time. Constantly getting you to dodge lasers, and there's all just like it's very active in a way that the X-Wing games are, but in a very different way.
I don't know, like it's just sometimes even just the fact that you have like this kind of ship, which is not really that great, also kind of gets in the way. Also the fact because this one has a sub-weapon of photon torpedoes, which I end up using up because I was like, I really want to get these things dead, the generators dead before I end up dying. The problem is, like, these things don't replenish, and they're actually essential to beating this level. So if you end up using all these by accident, you're kind of screwed, or you have to end up, like, killing yourself so you replenish them.
Oh, that's awkward design.
Yeah, I mean, there must be, I assume there are more levels that have, because in the second level, there's this thing where they introduce you to, like, switching your ships on the fly and like having these little points that you can run into and switch your ship, which I would assume would also replenish that thing. I assume they do that more in this game, right? Like it's not just that level.
It happens in some levels of this game, but only in some. And as you can see, I'm trying to dodge lasers.
Yeah.
I'm just watching this thing. I can imagine you, Jordan, playing this game, just wishing you had a barrel roll.
Yes, and I'm just thinking like, what am I even doing? Because I'm like, I don't even know what I'm really doing. I'm just trying to, like, dodge these lasers and just hoping that nothing hits me. I mean, it makes you feel kind of badass, but, like, at the same time, it's like, what do I do?
That's funny, because watching it, I'm, like, kind of getting a headache. It's kind of like, oh my god. Like, it's just, jeez. So twitchy, so much movement.
This game is literally headache-inducing.
It is, kinda, yeah. There's just like all these stars whizzing by and stuff.
Going the kamikaze route. Didn't work. Yeah, I'd say that's a good call.
Yeah, so this one was one of the ones I ended up doing, but I did the full playthrough just so that I could show how to I learned to approach it because, there is a certain way I ended up learning to approach it, because if you start going from like the sides, you get lasered all over the place. If you go from the back, you have a little bit less competition.
That's how this game, like even the sequel to this game, I find that's exactly how it's played, Like there's always like one strict way to play it, but they never tell you. And if they did, I feel like it'd be a much more enjoyable experience. Yeah, it'd be a hell of a lot easier, but like, at least you know what to do. And you're not struggling to figure out how to beat like a single level.
I can't wait to get to this one late level where I literally I literally had to spend almost an hour trying to beat it because they did not tell you what exactly you're supposed to do, and you're in like this area that's hard to see. There's branching paths, but you're only supposed to go to one of them. In order to progress, you have to kill like this one little NPC 2D character who's human on the ground, and you are never told to do that. I was like, are you kidding me? This was how you beat it?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, you know, this game was a GameCube release game, and it's like you have to think that, because when you actually think about these levels, like there's not like, how many levels are in this game? Like 10?
There's 10 and there's like 10 and I think like what, 5 or 6 bonus levels.
Sure. So it's like, let's say 15 levels, and they're all like fairly short. I think this when I know I've used the word arcadey to describe this game quite a bit, and I think that also comes with like its structure, which is that like this is a game that like the levels are fairly short, but they're like difficult, often in a way that is slightly unfair, and they're really focused on you performing like almost obscenely well, like unreasonably well in them, right? Because there's not actually a lot there unless you make it like super difficult.
But like if you know what you're doing, like on your first go, I'm pretty sure each level would probably take a very short amount of time. But like, you know, like we're seeing here, Jordan, like, you know, your first like run-throughs at the level, like they take a long time, but once you figure it out, the levels are actually pretty short.
Yeah, but I mean, like, to be honest, like, at least one occasion I had to look up game facts. I was like, I have no clue what I'm supposed to do here.
No shame in that.
Yeah, in one of the latter levels.
I do think there's something to be said for that sort of combat puzzle style. I could see that actually working in a game like this, but it seems like this is sort of puzzling in the wrong ways. Like, it's puzzling in a way that's like, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do right now, rather than giving you a situation and like really trying to make you sort of think.
Like right now, I like basically my way of thinking out of it is I'm going to go so deep down that's going to be hard for them to hit me, and then I'm just going to come right back up and get that one last shield generator, which is like impossible to get.
God, this barrage of lasers just looks insane to break through.
It really
it's really
is.
Intense.
And right now, the last thing you have to do to complete this level, and in a previous playthrough, I actually failed it because I ran out of photon torpedoes and I was on my last life. But you have to shoot a photon torpedo into their command deck. And you have to aim it really well too. But
But they tell you that through the targeting computer, right? Like, that's the next target?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, they kind of do, they kind of don't. I think that it's purple, so purple is usually... Oh, no, it is. It is yellow. But...
Yeah. Yellow is the thing, right?
I know I think in one level it was like they tell you to kill the Star Destroyer, but it was like purple, and they're like, oh, then it doesn't matter. I was like, oh, yeah, it does.
Captain, the Star Destroyer! It's crashing into the port. Getting to the Razor's gonna be a lot tougher than I thought.
So, mission complete. And like you were saying, like, you know, it's puzzling in the wrong reasons and tries to test your skill. Like, look at these requirements. Oh, it's gone now. But look at the requirements for, like, the medals. They're insane.
You were so close to getting it, too.
Yeah.